Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, to Warren's Team Talk. I hope that you're all really well today and having a great day and everything's fine with you. I'm absolutely fine, and for once I'm only 1 minute late. I'm like British Rail. Because I'm 1 minute late, I'm not late. Work that one out, because that's what British Rail do. They say if it's 1 minute late, that's all right, that's fine, they're not late. So fair play to them. Work that one out if you can. Anyway, yes, I'm here. I'm on time, sort of. So there you go. And there he is. He's the main man. It's Mr. Carl Walsh. How you doing, sir? Big up, Warren. You're a legend, mate. And you, mate. And you. You're an absolute legend. No filters. No BS. Just no filters. Just plain real talk. And that's what I like. Absolutely superb stuff. So nice to see you, Carl. I hope you're well, mate. And yeah, so we're going to do the match day live today. We're covering 4 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League, as well as other games up and down the country as well. There's been a lot of drama already. Gillingham have been relegated to League Two, and Rotherham have been promoted to the Championship from League One. So, yeah, big up to Rotherham. Fantastic news for them. Commiserations to Gillingham, I suppose. I suppose I have to say that. I'm not a big Gillingham fan at all. Although they are in the same county as where I live, I have to say I do not like that club. And yeah, there has been trouble at Gillingham as well. Rotherham fans ran on the pitch to celebrate, and Gillingham fans took exception to it, and there was a bit of scrapping. So get a life, man. Let the lads celebrate. You know, why do you have to do that? It's just ridiculous. But that sums up Gillingham for you. Anyway. Let's get on with the show. And yeah, so I'm very happy that I've managed to get here on time today after that carry on the other day. Oh my good God, how embarrassing was that? Thanks so much, mate, and give me a text later. Okay, mate, I'm having a cup of tea now to enjoy your stream, mate. Well, good. Yeah, I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to do the stream I wanted to about where Arsenal are going to finish in the league today, Carl. I'm not sure I'm going to have the slides ready, but I'm going to definitely want to do it tomorrow before the game starts. So soon as it's ready, I'll let you know and see what we can sort out about you coming on the stream with me to talk about it, because I'd absolutely love to have you on if you do me the honour of doing that. That would be absolutely superb, mate, because I want you on my channel. I really do, because I think it would be fantastic and people will love it. I really do, because I just like the way you talk and the way that you there's no filters with you or anything. It's I just want you to say what you think, and let's talk about it. And because I agree with what you say, I really do. So anyway, let's get on with it. I'm going to pick up some Arsenal YouTube channels that I really like. We got Arsenal Alex, who brings you all things Arsenal, including his instant match reactions and shorts. He also had, he did an interview. He does interviews as well with people now and again and collabs. And he did one. Who was it with? I could see the fella's face in my head. He done another one that's really good, but I can't remember. Anyway, he did one, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Really, really, really good. And that's it, Luca's Life. So yeah, check that out. I'm sure it was fantastic. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I'm sure it's wild. The Aussie Gooner, he's a top lad. He's an Australian Arsenal fan. and he gives you all. He talks about everything to do with Arsenal, and he does it from an Aussie perspective. And it's another one where there's no filters. He just tells you exactly what you think, what he thinks, and he's a top lad. I really like his passion because he's incredibly passionate. He's almost on the same level as Carl, so there you go. That tells you what he's like. But no, this guy is really, really passionate about Arsenal, and it's great to see. There's Diesel Arsenal. Diesel discusses lots of things, not just about Arsenal. He talks about TV, he talks about films, he talks about life in general. And also he has me on once every 2 weeks, and I talk about a topic to do with the paranormal, because that's another one of my big passions. And I'm going to be going on there on Tuesday night, probably about 7 o'clock, I think it's going to be. And I'm going to be talking about ghosts. The show's nearly ready, so make sure you keep your eyes open for that. And yeah, because it's going to be great. It's going to be a really good one, I think. Then it's Del Boy Gunner TV. Del Boy Gunner TV is a passionate Arsenal Irish supporter, and he discussed these as well. Another one, he talks about everything to do with Arsenal. And last night I was on a show. Well, I was on his channel, and there was myself and Jez, and obviously Del Boy Gunner. We were talking about the 1979-80 season again. There was so much to talk about. We had to split it into 2 shows, because that season Arsenal played 71 games. And last night we spoke about the cup runs that Arsenal had, because that season we got to 2 cup finals. We got to the European Cup Winners' Cup final, and we also got to the FA Cup final. Now, the European Cup Winners' Cup, for those of you who don't know, was a special cup competition for all the teams in Europe that had won their domestic cup competitions the year before. So every team in Europe has a cup competition similar to the English FA Cup. So that tournament was for all the teams that had won their FA Cup. And we got to the final of it. On the way to the final, we beat Gothenburg, Juventus, Valencia. No, sorry, we beat Gothenburg and Juventus and Fenerbahce. And in the final, we faced Valencia and lost on penalties. So if you haven't watched it already, go and check it out, because it is absolutely insane. That show last night was absolutely wild, and I'm sure that Kyle will back me up on that, because I know that you were watching, Kyle, and I know that you really enjoyed it. I could see some of the comments you were throwing in. Then we've got Arsenal, the history and more, and that channel is owned by and managed and run by Jez Collins, and Jez is an absolutely top man. What that fella doesn't know about Arsenal isn't worth knowing. He's been watching Arsenal since 1967, right? 1967. And the stuff he knows about Arsenal is incredible. He was born and brought up near the stadium. In fact, he used to be able to look out his bedroom window and see the East Stand. He'd practically open his front door, step outside, cross the road, and he was at the ground. So you can't get closer than that. So there you go, top man. And it was a pleasure to be able to talk to him, to be honest. Gracie-Mae, she's a passionate young Arsenal fan, and she brings you the voice of true fans and speaks about the history of the club. And she did a preview for the game against West Ham tomorrow, and she's still at school, right? and her history teacher is a massive Arteta in, apparently. And apparently she's managed to persuade him to come on her channel to have a debate about Mikel Arteta and Arsenal Football Club. And apparently she's doing that on Tuesday, I think. So that is going to be awesome. I can't wait for that. And if I were you, I wouldn't miss it either. So keep your eyes open for that. And because it's going to be awesome. Then there is NorthsideLdn. Northside's another guy. He's a top man. He's a mad Arsenal fan, really passionate about the club, and he refuses to accept mediocrity, and he calls it out wherever he sees it. And he also is very open to all fans and all their opinions, and he has them on his channel, and he speaks to people openly, and it's great. He's absolutely fantastic guy, and he's very welcoming, and yeah, he's a top man. Then there's SFeatleyTV. Stephen is another one who's a top man. He discusses everything to do with Arsenal Football Club, and then he also talks about Formula One, and he uses his YouTube channel to raise money and awareness of the Children's Liver Disease Foundation. And in fact, all the money he raises, I believe, from his YouTube channel goes to the Children's Liver Disease Foundation. So big up to him, and please, guys, go and support him, because what he's doing is incredible. And then, last but not least, we got the one and the only, the absolute legend himself, Carl Walsh, Arsenal. It's with him. It's straight talking about Arsenal. There's no filters, and it's real talk only. Honestly, it's going to be... He is an absolute legend, this fella. And I just love his passion. And Carl, if you're still here, is your channel still... is your channel up and running again yet now? How did you get on last night? Yeah, let me know, because, I want to make sure that as soon as that thing gets launched again, that we get it going with a bang. Because I'll do everything I can to make sure that happens. I know I'm not the biggest channel, and I'm probably one of the smallest ones, but I will do everything I can possibly to make it happen. So anyway, let's yes. Now, this fella, we need to talk about this fella. There is a link in the description of this video to a petition that you can go and sign to let the club know that you do not want Mikel Arteta to be given a new contract. So just click on the link. It's a free petition. Go and check it out and sign it and whatnot if you want to. If you don't, it's fine. But if you do, then please go and do it, because we need to fight this, because we can't have yet another year of abject failure like we've had the last 2.5 years. So go and sort that out. And yeah, and I can't take much more of this deluded bloody fan base talking crap week in, week out. Absolute rubbish. Honestly, it is rubbish. Like going on about how he's the greatest thing since sliced bread when he clearly isn't. It's clear as day. I don't know how the people can stand next to the truth and not see it. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, so let's just get into some of the comments. And Carl Walsh says, big up, Warren. You're a legend, mate. Thank you. Thanks so much, mate. Give me a text later, okay, mate? I'm having a cup of tea now to enjoy your stream. Well, I'm sure that's absolutely lovely. Fair play to you, mate. No problem, mate. Big up, okay. And why not Spursy? Mikel Arteta, love Arsenal, hate Kroenke. Says, big up, Warren. Yeah, thanks very much, mate. I hope you're well. It's lovely to see you. Carl Walsh, can't wait to see that Tuesday, mate. No, neither can I. It's going to be wild. And why not Spursy? Says, big up, Carl. Jez is in the house. Good afternoon, Warren and everyone. Hi, Jez. How you doing, mate? I have to say, mate, I absolutely loved that chat last night. It was absolutely amazing. Because that season's one of my favourites. I know we didn't win anything or whatnot, but I absolutely loved that season. It was amazing. So yeah, talking about it with you and Del Boy Gunner, for me, was just like a dream come true, to be honest. James Dunlop says, hi, Ron. Hi, all. I hope you're all doing well. Mate, I'm fine. I'm worried about you, mate, and about your team. I really am. I heard a Wobie talking about Everton on the radio yesterday, and I have to say I wasn't impressed, mate. I wasn't. I just worried. I'm worried about what's going to happen to Everton. I really am. Because I find it really painful. I just can't believe what's happening. Carl Walsh says, mate, I'm still waiting for the fella to call me. Unbelievable. But as soon as it's up, you be the first to know. I really appreciate your support, mate. You're a top man. Thank you. I'll do whatever I can, mate. I've got lots of shenanigans in my head about what we can do to get it banging, and I'll employ all of them. I'm telling you. Carl Walsh says, afternoon, Jez. Hope you're well, mate. And there he is, the main man, Del Boy Gunner TV. What's the bleeding story, Warren and all? Yeah, I'm good, mate. I hope you're well. I'm still buzzing about that chat we had last night about the 1979-80 season. It was absolutely crazy. Carl Walsh, how are you, Del Boy? And I bought my boys swimming this morning. I swam like a rock. Head to the bottom. Oh my God. Well, it's a good job it wasn't. I hope it wasn't in shark infested waters, mate. And why not Spursy? Mikel Arteta says, big up, Jez. Great afternoon. And Carl Walsh, big up, why not Spursy? Carl Walsh, good man, dear boy. And I think we're gone anyway, Ron. Not only we cannot defend, we don't look like scoring goals either. God, hell, mate. Have they not got any really promising youngsters in the youth team or reserves or something that they can throw in? Remember years ago when Wayne Rooney came in the first team at 16 and he smashed one in against Arsenal. Surely you must have some youth development scheme at Everton. You're a massive club. Massive. How the hell they can't have some youngsters that can do better than those clowns you've got in the team? I'm getting really angry now. I really am, because it's just not right. James Dunlop says, big up everyone in the chat. Big up Jimmy D. Big up Dale. What's the Jackinori? And Jez Collins, yes, that was a great chat last night. Loved it. Yeah, me too, mate. James, good afternoon, Warren. What do you think of the job Postecoglou is doing at Celtic? Mate, he's an absolute legend. He's a legend. My dad's best mate is a massive Celtic fan, and he's always telling me about him, and I am able to see the games now and again, and I just think that what he's done in such a short space of time is just incredible. There's no talk of a process. There's no talk of projects or giving it time and all this crap, and he's turned around 24 points difference or something crazy like that. It's incredible. And see, that's what happens when you have a manager who knows what he's doing. And he's quality, mate. Absolutely quality. And James Donlott says, hi, why not? Kyle Walsh, hi. Hi, mate, says Jez. Delboy Gunner TV, hi, Carl, why not, and Jez. And Delboy Gunner and the two James. Yeah, we've got two James in the chat, so that's great. That's great. And why not Spursy says 2-0 Mainz v Bayern. Well, Mainz are 2-0 up against Bayern. Bloody hell, that's a bit of a shock. Jez Collins, Delboy Gunner TV, great show last night, mate. Loved it. Yeah, it was wild, Delboy. Absolutely fantastic. And I'm looking forward to next Friday as well when we do the next one. James Dunlop says our academy is crap, and so is our women's team, mainly because of our board. Well, there you go. There you go. That tells you all. Tells you it all. So what's happened with Usmanov? Has he been sanctioned by the UK government, or is he still allowed to have involvement with Everton and still allowed to be involved financially? Because he's got bucket loads of money, that fella. Delboy Gunner gives a, what is that? A thumbs up and a, I don't know what that other one is, but it looks like a thumbs up. Joanne Smith says hello. Hi, Joe. Hope you're well. James Donlott says hi, Delboy. James, I'm not the AFTV one. Well, I'm glad to hear it, mate. As long as you're not the AFTV one or the Arsenal one, I don't mind. James says, hi, Delboy. James says, I love Postecoglou. I'm an Australian in Japan. Followed him pretty closely. It took him a season to get going in Yokohama Marinos, but you could actually see what he was doing. Mate, he's been an absolute legend. He has. And like I say, I watched quite a few Celtics games, and what he's done to that squad is incredible, and he's turned it round really quickly. He's done an awesome job. 2-0 for Mainz. Yeah, I think Nagelsmann will get sacked, you know. Bayern don't mess around. No, they don't. They're absolutely relentless. They're ruthless. Why not says, good afternoon, Joanne. I hope you're enjoying the day. And why not it says it's 2-1 Mainz v Bayern. Fantastic. That's what I want. People throwing in scores like that, because that's wild. That is absolutely wild. Keep it up, man. I'm loving it. Right, so let's get on with the show. So earlier today, the 12:30 kickoff in the Premier League saw Newcastle take on Liverpool at St James's Park. Liverpool won the game by 1-0 thanks to a goal from Naby Keita in the 20th minute, and the goal was assisted by Jota. And the match stats for this one, well, they tell their own story, really, don't they? Let me look at them. Newcastle had 34% possession. They had 4 shots, 2 of which were on target. They had no corners, and they committed 11 fouls. Liverpool, on the other hand, had 66% possession. They had 24 shots, 10 were on target. They had 6 corners and 11 fouls. So, yeah, looks like Liverpool absolutely battered Newcastle. They really did. And Newcastle been playing well of late as well. So I'm just glad that we ain't got to play them again this season. That's all I can say. So let's have a look at the league table. So that win for Liverpool takes them back to the top of the Premier League, at least till City play again. They've got 82 points from 34 games. There's 4 games left to play. Man City are in second. They played 33 games and have 80 points. And the rest of it is as was. And Newcastle, they're still in 9th after that result. But obviously, the teams around them have got games in hand on them. Leicester have got 3 games in hand on them. Wolves have got 2 games in hand on them. Brighton have got 1. So they could slip down the table by the end of the weekend by the looks of it, but we'll see. Yeah, so let's move on. So the 3 o'clock kickoffs today, we've got Aston Villa against Norwich. Now that's an absolutely massive game. And yesterday or Thursday, when I did my preview show for the Premier League games this weekend, I had that down for a draw. But I've got a feeling that Norwich might win today. You know, I really do. It's just because Villa have been in such poor form. They really have, and if they're not careful, they're going to get sucked into a relegation battle. And then the next game, and Norwich desperately need to win that game, because if they don't, I think that's it, done and dusted. And I'm not convinced it's not already done and dusted already. And I've got a feeling that when Norwich appointed their manager, the former Aston Villa manager, what was his name? Oh, I can't remember the fella's name, but when they appointed him, I think one of the reasons they appointed him was if they were thinking, if we get relegated, we need someone who's got a proven track record of getting teams out of the Championship, which he has. So maybe that's why they appointed him. I don't know. And then Southampton against Crystal Palace. That's going to be a good game at St Mary's Stadium. I think Southampton might just be edged out in this one. I think Palace could just win this. Watford against Burnley. I think there's only one winner in that one for me. I think Burnley are going to edge it. It won't be a easy victory. But Burnley being Burnley, they'll probably win it 1-0 or 2-1 or something like that. And then Wolves against Brighton. And I reckon that's going to be a 0-0 draw, because neither team score a lot of goals. So should be an interesting one to see what happens. Having said that, it'll probably be a 4-4 draw or something crazy, knowing my luck. So please put your predictions in. Let's get some predictions in about what you think's going to happen in the games today, what you think the scores will be, and then we'll get rocking and rolling with the show. So the lineups today: Aston Villa, they're going with Martinez, Cash, Chambers, Mings, who's captain, Digne, McGinn, Bunham, Jack Ramsey, Bailey, Watkins, and Coutinho. And on the subs bench, they've gone with Olsen, Konsa, Young, Douglas Luiz, Nakamba, Buendia, Chukwuemeka, I think that is, Traore and Ings. And Norwich, their lineup for today is Krul, Williams, Hanley's captain, Brian Aarons, McLean, Norman, Lewis Malloy, Rashika, Dow, and Pookie. And then on the bench, they've gone with Gunn, Gibson, Rupp, Gilmore, Placheta, Sorensen, Sargent, Genialos, and Rao. And the formations for this game, Villa are going for what's like a Christmas tree formation of 4-3-3. 4-3-2-1. And Norwich are going with a 4-2-3-1. So, as you can see, Jez, when he was doing his story about the Herbert Chapman era, if you haven't checked that out yet, go and watch it because it was fantastic. And please, please, please go and subscribe to Jez's channel and Del Boy's channel as well, because both of those channels are fantastic. And you look at that formation there from Norwich, and you can clearly see that WM formation that Jez was going on about. I just find it staggering that all these years later, nearly 100 years later, teams are still using that WM formation as the basis for their formations in modern football. It's amazing. And then Southampton starting 11 today. They've gone with Fraser Foster, Carl Walker-Peters, Jan Bednarek, Mohamed Salisu, Romain Perraud, Oriel Romu, James Ward-Prowse, who's captain, Nathan Redmond, Nathan Teller, Shay Adams and Shane Long. And their bench is Caballero, Nainko, Valerie, Smallbone, Armstrong, El Yunusi, Ginepro, Armstrong, Ambrosia. And then Palace have gone with Gaiata, Klein, Guaya, Anderson, Ward, MacArthur, Schlupp, Gallagher, Ayew, Mateta, and Eze. And then on the bench, they've gone with Butland, Mitchell, Tompkins, Kayatu, Hughes, what's that say? Olise, Sahar, Benteke, and Edouard. And their formations are Southampton are going for a traditional 4-4-2, and Palace are going for a 4-3-3. And then Watford, they're going with the YouTubing goalkeeper, Fraser Foster, Loza, João Pedro, Kamara, Sissoko, who's captain, Firmino, Samir, Sarr, Dennis, Kabasele, and Kuka. And then on the bench, they've gone with Bachmann, Nagakia, is it Trost Kong, King, Messina, Turner, Gosling, Kalu and Kayembe. And then Burnley, they're going with Pope, Roberts, Collins, Tarkowski, Taylor, McNeil, Cork, Brownhill, Lennon, Weghorst and Rodriguez. And on their bench, they've gone with Hennessy, Long, Loughton, Thomas, Bardsley, Stevens, Vidra, Costello and Barnes. And the formations those teams are using is Watford are going for a 4-3-3 and Burnley are going with the traditional 4-4-2. And last but not least, we got Brighton against Wolves. Now, Wolves, they're going with Jose Sarr, Nelson Semedo, Willy Bolly. Jesus. I hate this team and their bloody names. Connor Cody, who's captain, Romain Saiz, Ryan Ait Nouri, Leander Dendonka, Ruben Neves, Yao Moutinho, Fabio Silva, He Chan Wan. And then on the bench, they've gone with Ruddy, Martial, Neto, Neto, Jimenez, Trincao, Johnny, Chiquinho, Totti, and Kundal. Jesus Christ, what an absolute bunch of nutter names. Honestly, no disrespect to Wolves, any of their players or their supporters, but that is the craziest bunch of names I think I've ever seen. And anyway, Brighton are going with Sanchez, Cucurella, Dunk, Bissouma, McAllister, Trossard, Wepiu, Welbeck, Marsh, Casido, Weltman, and on the bench we've got Steele, Lamptey, Webster, Malpoy, Gross, Lallana, Alzata, Duffy, and Ferguson. Now the lineups for those two is what Wolves are going for a 3-5-2, and Brighton are going for a 3-5-2 as well. So yeah, so there you go. Let's have a look. Let's leave that on another slide. I don't want to see that clown's face, to be quite honest. So yeah, let's go with that one. Yeah, we'll leave it on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get... So let's get that, put that like that, and then there's been a couple of goals already, so and that's for the game at the Dell. It's Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 0 already. Let's go and find out about that one. And let's go and check that out. So here we go. This is the goal. Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 0. Oreo Romeo, Southampton, has a header from the centre of the box to the high centre of the goal, and that was assisted by James Ward-Prowse with a cross following a corner. So there you go. Southampton have gone 1 goal up already. And in that game, we've had 2 bookings. So as well as that, we need to do this. Your book, son. And that applies to Jan Bednarek and also to Jean-Philippe Mateta. So both teams have had a booking. Southampton's Jan Bednarek and also Jean-Philippe Mateta of Crystal Palace have both gone in the book. So there you go. Let's go back and see what is going on. And there's a goal already at Vicarage Road as well. And so it's Watford 1, Burnley 0. I nearly said Barnsley. Bloody hell. Barnsley aren't in the Premier League, bless them. I bet they wish they were. But Watford have taken an early lead against Burnley. That goal came courtesy of Tarkowski, who scored an own goal in the 8th minute to give Watford the lead. Let's see if what we can find out about that. So let's quickly go down to Vicarage Road and see what's been going on there in the opening exchanges in the game. So here we go, guys. Let's see what's happened, how that happened. So here we go, the goal. It's an own goal by James Tarkowski. Burnley 1, Watford 0. It doesn't really say that. Yeah, it doesn't really say that much, does it? So, but yeah, Tarkowski scores an own goal, and it gives Watford a 1-0 lead against Burnley early on. So, yeah, the other two games in the Premier League, the 3 o'clock kickoffs, currently are standing 0-0. And there's about 20 minutes played already. Jesus, that's unreal. So, let's get into the comments again. So, watching that Newcastle game, I don't think Newcastle game will be a walkover. 3-0 like the Arteta sexuals think. I don't think it will either. I think we're going to struggle against them. I don't think we'll beat them, to be quite honest. I'm watching our legend PV4 game. What's that? Why not? I'm not sure I understand that. I don't understand what that is. Dean Smith, yeah, that's the one. No, I think that's why they appointed him, because I think they thought if we get relegated, we need to have a manager who has got experience of getting teams out of a dogfight. Spursy, why not Spursy? Mikel Arteta says 1-0 Southampton. That's right. Usmanov isn't involved with us at all. I hope to God he never has anything to do with us. Not because of the Russian links, it's more to do with his Mashuri's mate. Well, exactly. Let's just hope that they manage to get that cancer out of your club. I'll go for a draw with Villa and Norwich 1-1, says Joanne. That's what I put on Thursday. I thought it was going to be a 1-1 draw. And James says 2 goals in Premier League. Southampton 1-0 up against Palace, and Watford lead Burnley. Yep, 2 early goals in the games. The WM formation and in the modern to create triangles, angles of passing to isolate players that creates Dutch-like total football effect. Yeah, 100%, mate. James Dunlop, big breakfast news. Mino Raiola has passed away at the age of 54. Mate, is that true? Because people were banging on about that yesterday, and it was a load of old nonsense. I don't know where that story came from, but it was fake news. Well, that's what I heard yesterday. Why not Spursy? Mick Arteta says Brighton 2-1, Southampton 3-2, draw Villa 3-1, Watford. Wow. Excellent. Let's see what happens. Why not Spursy? Mick Arteta says Jimmy D. Yeah, it's just popped up in my newsfeed. Let's have a look and see. Yeah, it's on. It's on the One Football app as well. And it's on the BBC app as well. Football agent Raiola dies age 54. So there you go. Maybe it wasn't fake news after all. Jesus. Oh, dear. Some fella on his YouTube channel said he's died. Then as he died, then he went back again. Oh, my God. And condolences go to his family and friends. Yeah, 100%. I shouldn't be laughing about it. I'm not laughing about the poor guy passing away. Of course I'm not. I'm just laughing about the fact that this fella reported it, saying he died, then he hadn't died, and then he had died. It was just crazy. Yeah, so condolences to all his family, his friends, and all the business partners and associates and everything that he had contact with and whatnot. It's terrible news. He's a year younger than me, for God's sake. It's true, Warren. It's all over social media. Yeah, mate. I've just seen it now. A statement has been made on his official Twitter account, says James. Yeah, well, God bless him, and may he rest in peace. That's all I can say. So there you go. So let's move on. So what's everyone think about what's going to happen with the Premier League title race? Who do you think is going to win it? Do you think Liverpool are going to win it, or do you think it's going to be Manchester City? Because I've got a feeling that Liverpool are going to do it. I've got this feeling that when Manchester City go and face West Ham, that they're going to get turned over. I don't know why I've got that feeling, because I think West Ham are focusing now on the Europa League, and it makes more sense because it will get them into the Champions League, and they'll also win a trophy as well, in my opinion. But I don't know. James says, I think Liverpool will win it. They are the form side in Europe. Mate, they're just unbelievable. And big up for you to saying that, because it must be really painful for you to say that, especially given the bloody situation that you're in at the moment as well. Seeing your side on the verge of being relegated, and then your City rivals on the verge of bloody winning a title. It just must be horrendous. Right, so let's see what's going on. And there's a penalty to Burnley, everyone. Dwight McNeil drives into the box and he's brought down. Penalty. This one is being checked now. Was the full foul outside of the box? So VAR has got his sticky little paws all over it, and it could be thrown out. It could be thrown out of court. Thrown out of court. Get it out of my sight, and don't you darken my door again. That's what they could be saying to it. Oh, my goodness me. That VAR, man. I'm going to have to do one of my little... I'm going to have to do a little movie clip to put on my channel about VAR and penalties, because I think we're missing something here. I mean, we haven't got enough little movies. I want, be nice to have ones for penalties, VAR, bookings. We have got them for bookings and sending off some goals, but I think we need them for VAR as well, and whatnot. And relief for Watford after close look over the evidence of the challenge. Musa Sissoko is deemed to have been outside of the box. A free kick it is. So it's been thrown out of court. It's been thrown out, and the case has been dismissed. And there it goes off into the night with its tail between its legs and its head down, firmly down. And Glenn Murray, former Crystal Palace striker on BBC Radio 5 Live. I must admit, my initial reaction was shocked that it had been given. But Musa Sissoko has clicked McNeil's heels, and it looks like the right decision. But is it in the box? That's what the people want to know. They want to know, Glenn Murray, was it inside the box? Was the right decision made? Has VAR got it right? That's what the public want to know. Let the people know. Wolves keeper Jose Sarr is quick off his line to punch away Alexis McAllister's cross. Now, guys, you probably see I've got headphones in, because what I'm going to do is I'm trying something new. I'm going to be listening to BBC Radio 5 Live Sports Saturday afternoon. so that I can get proper up-to-date information, because this website is not doing it for me. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, so there you go. If anything major kicks off, I'll know about it, and I won't get done for copyright, because if I have it on while this channel's going, then I'll get done for copyright, unfortunately, because I'd love to be able to just have it on in the background while we're doing this, but I can't. So Aston Villa 0, Norwich 0. And there's been a missed chance in the Villa game as well. Villa 0, Norwich 0. Norwich shows some promise as Milot Rashica tests Emi Martinez from distance. So there you go. Right, here we go. And Taib says, hi, Ron, how are you, my good friend? I'm great. I'm good, mate. I really am. I loved some of your questions last night on Del Boy Gunner's channel. They were really, really good questions, and you made us really, really think. And there's a penalty to Brighton. Penalty to Brighton. What's happened there? A penalty to Brighton. The referee goes to the screen. It's all about whether Roman Saïs' arm was in an unnatural position or not. And his decision is penalty. So there we go. So Watford 1, Burnley 0. Lovely feat from Emmanuel Dennis as he twists and turns in the Burnley box and manages to squeeze in an effort on goal from a tight angle, forcing Nick Pope to get down and prod it wide. There you go. So we may have a goal at Molineux. Let's see what happens. And a missed penalty. It stays Wolves 0, Brighton 0. Brighton missed the penalty. Alexis McAllister steps up and strikes the penalty off the foot of the post. Jose Sarr has gone the right way for good measure. There you are. There you are. My goodness. Drama. There's always drama on this show. There always is. That's why I love it. And James Dunlop says, I'm not bothered if they win the lot because we are irrelevant in their eyes. We haven't been a real threat to them since the 80s. Mate, in the 80s, you were absolutely relentless. You were going into Europe as well and doing well in Europe. You won I think it was it the Cup Winners' Cup you won in the 80s? You beat, I think it was Rapid Vienna or something in the final. I seem to remember. I might be wrong. But yeah, I remember that team you had in the 80s. It was superb. And Taib Hussain says, hi, James. Hi, why not? James Dunlop. Hi, Taib. And here we go. Taib, man. He says, sick, Hicks, Nick, 6, lick, bricks with pricks and sticks. Mate, you're crazy. And Taib, you are proper off key, mate. But it's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. James Dunlop says, in La Liga, Real Madrid only need a point to win the title. If they do, which will happen, Carlo Ancelotti will have won all 5 of the top European leagues. Yeah, and some of Arsenal fans are saying that he's washed. He's washed, apparently. He's washed up and he's irrelevant. Fucking joke, honestly. Thanks for that, because I didn't know that fact, because that is, yeah, that's really interesting. Taib says, some people take life for granted. People can get rich as much as they want, but at the end of the day, we will all die and return to our Creator. Yes, that's absolutely true. And you go out of this world with exactly the same as what you come into this world with. Absolutely nothing. So there you go. All the rest of it is just bloody window dressing and whatnot. Why not Spursy says, yeah, Warren PV4, Paddy v the Mighty Eagles. Oh, okay, I've got it now. Thanks, mate, for clearing that one up, because I didn't have a clue what you were talking about. Paddy v the Mighty Eagles. Yeah, so let's see what happens there. Why not Spursy says, unfair pen. He was running towards the pen. He was running towards the goal. Fair comment, mate. Warren, you are like family to me, mate. A father, a brother, you can be my sister and mother too. Laugh out loud. Mate, that's very nice for you to say that. I do 100% respect you, my bro. I really do, because you make me laugh. You really do. I just think you're an absolute legend. I do. I think you're a legend. Why not says, good, they didn't score the pen. Poor call by the ref. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what they're saying on here as well. Big up, why not, says Taib. James Dunlop says, we beat Bayern Munich in the semi-finals, the Cup Winners' Cup in 85. My dad remembers that night very fondly. I don't blame him. It was a massive achievement. And then you went and won the trophy as well, I think. He should have been your manager before Arteta would 100%. Do you reckon Everton fans would have taken Arteta if they would have accepted him as manager? If it had gone the other way, if we'd appointed Ancelotti and Arteta had been appointed by Everton, do you think the Everton faithful would have accepted him? Because I don't think they would have. I honestly don't think, because I think they would have said, well, yeah, he was a legend as a player for our club, but to be honest with you, I don't think he is an Everton legend, to be honest. When I think about all the real legends who you've had, the likes of Dixie Dean in the 30s and whatnot, and then you had in the 80s, all those great players that you had in the 80s, like Andy Gray and Kevin Ratcliffe and Neville Southall, and all the way. I could go on for about half an hour listing great players that you've had in the past. I could. To put him in that bracket, I just don't think he's in that bracket. I don't. So yeah, I'll be quite interested to get your opinions about that, whether you think they would have accepted him. Because I think they would have looked at it and gone, yeah, maybe, but what's his credentials? What experiences has he had to do this job? Because he shouldn't he shouldn't have got a job at any Premier League club. I'm sorry. He should have gone to, bloody, no disrespect to him, but he should have gone to like a side in the National League or lower than that to learn his trade, and then slowly worked his way up the leagues. Not go and just walk into the 3rd or the 5th biggest club in the country. And there's been a goal. There's been a goal, people, by the looks of it. So where's that goal then? Let's see. And it's Aston Villa 1, Norwich City 0. Here we go. And Ollie Watkins has scored in the 40th minute to put Aston Villa 1-0 up. Let's see what we can find out about that. Yeah, so here we go. Here it is. Ollie Watkins, Aston Villa. Right-footed shot from the right side of the box to the high centre of the goal. And it was assisted by Danny Ings. So there you go. 1-0 to Aston Villa. And that'd be a big relief to them. I really will. I'm absolutely certain about that. Right, okay, so let's get back on with it. And it's another goal. And it's now Wolves 0, Brighton 1. And Alexis McAllister gives Brighton the lead at Molineux. Let's go and check that one out. So yeah, McAllister scores for Brighton in the 42nd minute, and it was a penalty. After he'd also earlier missed a penalty in the 33rd minute. So fair play to him to having the balls to step up again and get the goal to take the penalty. I'm sorry. Let's see what it says about the penalty though, because I'm curious about that. I don't say anything about it. Oh, here we go. So here we go. It says Danny Welbeck drew a foul in the penalty area. Penalty conceded by Willy Bowley. But that name is mad. After a foul in the penalty area, which was committed by Danny Welbeck. Sorry, it wasn't committed by Danny Welbeck. It was made on Danny Welbeck. By Willy Bowley. Willy Bowley fouls Danny Welbeck. Oh, God, I've got a smutty mind. I'm sorry. And then Alexis McAllister converts the penalty with a right-footed shot to the bottom left corner. And it puts Brighton 1-0 up at Wolves. And there you go. So it's all happening today. So right. So, and there's been another yellow card as well. So here we go. Your book, son. Who's the booking for? Callum Chambers goes into the referee's book for bringing down Milot Rashica, and this could be a good chance for Norwich to get back on level terms. So let's see what happens. Aston Villa 1, Norwich 0. They do deliver and almost make it count. Grant Hanley wins the first header, and Brandon Williams gets to the second ball but can only nod over. So let's go here. Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 0. 2 chances in 1 for Palace as Jordan Ayew glancing header from a corner is clawed away by Fraser Foster, and then Joachim Anderson's follow-up header from 16 yards is caught by the keeper. Wolves striker Fabio Silva runs into a hook ball and runs onto a hooked ball over the top, but Mark Cucurella tackles him in the box. That don't make sense. Wolves striker Fabio Silva runs onto a hooked ball over the top. Oh, a hooked ball over the top, but Mark Cucurella tackles him in the box. Okay, yeah, it makes sense now. Alexis McAllister is the first player to score and miss a penalty in the first half of a Premier League match since Jamie Vardy did it in Leicester's 1-0 home victory against Wolves on the 8th of November 2020. Wow. Well, nearly 2 years. Well, it was about 18 months ago. Nick Pope has to be on his toes once again as Imro Lauser curls a free kick towards the far post with Burnley keeper pushing it away. And there's another yellow card. Your book, son. There's another yellow card, and Palace defender Joel Ward can't catch Nathan Redmond as he brings him down and gets a yellow card. Glenn Murray's been at it again, people. Glenn Murray has spoken. Let's see what he's got to say this time. So, Glenn Murray, every time Burnley attack, they look dangerous. They are finishing this half stronger, but Watford keep hitting them on the counter-attack, and they are a threat. So it's half-time at Vicarage Road. It's half-time. It's Watford 1, Burnley 0, and that's for the break. Watford lead and are on the way to a potentially huge 3 points at the moment. And Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 0. Shay Adams turns and shoots after a free kick was flicked on it into the box, but it's straight at the Palace keeper. Half-time at Molineux, and it's Wolves 0, Brighton 1. The half-time whistle goes at Molineux and Brighton lead thanks to Alexis McAllister's 50% success rate from the spot. Oh, my days. And then half-time at the St Mary's Stadium is Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 0. Also half-time at St Mary's. Orion Romeo's goal is the difference so far. So, yeah, there you go. So it's half-time in all those games. Let's go and have a look and see. Let's go and see what's going on up and down the country in the other games before we get into the chat. Well, let's do the chat first because it's stacking up a bit in there, isn't it? So, talking about managers, I'm going to show you guys something. Let me just see if I can find it. I want to show you something because when Jez was doing his Chapman era story, I was talking to someone in his chat about how I applied for the Notts Forest job once. So let me just find that. Hold on, I'm just looking for it. No. No. Hold on, guys. I'm just trying to find it. Just looking for it, people, and I'm just looking for it. So I'm just going to look a few bit longer, and then if I can't find it, I will leave it, and I'll show it another time, because it is quite funny, I have to say. Hold on a sec. Let me see. Is there anywhere else it could be? I won't be a sec. Sorry about this, guys, because I want to find it for you, because it's funny. I wonder if it's in there. Yeah, here it is. I found it. So, right, I know where it is. So let's see if I can get it up on the screen. So, let's open it. Now, let's see if I can get it up. And let's see if I can get it up. Right, guys, there we go. Can you see that? Can you see that? So there you go. It says 10th January 1997. Dear Mr. Bartholomew, that's me, right? I acknowledge receipt of your recent letter, the contents of which are noted. As you will no doubt have read, the position has been filled by Stuart Pearce until the middle of January. No decision has yet been made concerning arrangements beyond then. I will keep your letter on file should the possession be advertised at a future date. Thank you for your interest. Yours sincerely, P. White, Secretary, and that's on the heading letter paper from Nottingham Forest Football Club. There you go. So that's the proof. I applied for the Nottingham Forest job and I got a response. So there you go. Yeah, I thought you'd find that interesting. Since the Cronkies became sole owners of our club, they've transformed it into a bloody circus, mate. Are you surprised, though, by those bloody clowns? Honestly. Some of our fans would have had him back, but some didn't because they wanted a proper winner in charge. Exactly. What has he done? What has he done? I mean, there's nothing on his CV. It's just that I can't understand it. How you would put any company that's a multi-million pound business, multinational business, doesn't put a bloody novice in charge of it. It's insane. Villa 1-0 says, why not Spursy? Yep. And James Dunlop says, even though I'm 24 and you're going to laugh at this, Arteta technically was the best player I've seen at Everton, not counting James Rodriguez because we never got to fully see him. Mate, go and look up Kevin Sheedy. Kevin Sheedy, he's not... Arteta isn't fit to lace the boots of Kevin Sheedy. I'm telling you. The older ones in the chat will know what I'm talking about with his Kevin Sheedy character. He was insane. He was insane. He was an absolute genius. And Arteta don't come close to him, mate. He don't. James Dunlop says Brighton penalty again, and they scored it this time. Yeah, they did, mate. They did. Ron, didn't Arsenal win the league at Everton when Adams scored that goal in 98? Anyway, 1998 was a magical year. Right. No, we won it at Highbury in 98 against Everton. And the game that won us the title was against Everton, and it was played at Highbury, mate. James Dunlop says in League One earliest day, Wigan and Rotherham are promoted to the Championship. Congrats to both teams. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. I think it was probably before you came into the chat, and there's a bit of crowd trouble at Gillingham because the Rotherham fans ran on the pitch and the Gills fans got upset and come on the pitch and started rucking with them. And so I had my say about it because I just thought it was ridiculous. Just let the lads celebrate their promotion, honestly. What do you have to do that for? Joanne Smith, what's happening? Yeah, there's been goals, one goal in every game so far, Joanne. So it's Aston Villa 1, Norwich 0, Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 0, Watford 0, Burnley 0, and Wolves 0, Brighton 1. That's the halftime scores in the Premier League games. And Taib says, hi, Joanne, how are you? Joanne says, liked and shared. Thank you, Joanne. Taib, I'm getting used to being without Charlie. Joanne, what happened with Charlie? Joanne, how was he? Says Taib. Zoom in, Warren, laugh out loud. Well, like that, you mean? Jez Collins applied for the Arsenal job, Warren. I did, mate. When they got rid of Mikel, when they got rid of Unai Emery, I applied for it then, but I never got a response. And Taib says, hi, Jez, how's it going? And my dad loved Kevin Sheedy, and I've seen clips. He was a top player. Mate, he was unbelievable. He really was. The free kicks he used to score, and he was just fantastic player for Everton. He really was. And you had an amazing team at that time. You really did. And there, Peter Reid as well in that midfield. It was relentless. And you go anywhere and beat anyone. Taib, he looked peaceful when I said goodbye. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm so sorry, Joanne. Oh, dear. God bless you. Julian will be manager next. No, I'm telling you, if Arsenal sack Mikel Arteta, the next manager will be Per Mertesacker. Taib saying it was at Highbury, mate. And Taib was saying, sorry to hear that, Joanne. Yeah, I am too. And Taib says, Jez, I need to give my head a wobble. I'm forgetting stuff. Give it a little wobble, mate. And Jez Collins says, 1998 at Highbury. Adams, Overmars 2, and Bilic own goal. Yeah, that's right, it was. And the commentator, when Adams scored the goal, he famously said, and that sums it all up, because I think it was Steve Bold played Tony Adams in for that goal. Jess Collins said, Ty saying, hi, mate, hope all is good. And Taib says, I'm good, Jess. Hope you're keeping well. Yeah, so yeah, it was that was an incredible day that when they won that title by beating Everton 4-0. Especially the fourth goal when Adams scored. It was fantastic. It really was a brilliant day. Anyway, so let's see what is going on in some of these other games. So there you go. Look, it's confirmed. There's on the BBC website. Mino Raiola, football agent, dies aged 54. So there you go. It's all confirmed. I think he's the agent of Paul Pogba, I believe. But anyway, so let's have a look at this. Bournemouth leading the promotion race, and Forest are pegged back, and Borough are ahead. AFC Wimbledon are going down. I believe that means Morecambe are now the only professional team to have been relegated at any level. Amazing achievement and such a small budget. Chuffed to bits that they've stayed up. Wow, that is incredible. AFC Morecambe are now the only professional team never been relegated at any level. Wow. So let's look at the scores in the Championship. So earlier today it finished Barnsley 1, Preston 3. It's Blackburn 0, Bournemouth 1, Blackpool 0, Derby 0, Bristol City 3, Hull City 0, Cardiff City 0, Birmingham 1, Coventry 0, Huddersfield 1, Middlesbrough 2, Stoke City 0, Millwall 0, Peterborough 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Swansea 1, and Reading 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. So there you go. Yeah, if you probably noticed, I've took the headphones out. The reason for that was because I couldn't concentrate on what was going on. So I decided to take them out because I couldn't focus on it. I don't have the ability to do multitasking, I'm afraid, because I end up doing nothing well and just everything really badly. So I prefer not to do it. I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I will be in big trouble, and I do not want to be in big trouble. So there you go. There you have it, people. So let's have a look at some of the other scores. In Scotland, it's Dundee United 1, Motherwell 0, and all the other games in the Scottish Premiership are goalless. The Women's Champions League today, we've got Wolfsburg ladies against Barcelona Femenino, and then as well as that, you've got Paris Saint-Germain Femenines up against Lyon Femenines. So that'll be interesting. Barcelona's ladies are 5-1 up from the first leg, and the other one's a lot more evenly poised at 3-2 to Lyon. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And then the Women's Super League, Jesus, look at that. Manchester City 7, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. My word, that's unbelievable. In League One, it finished AFC Wimbledon 3, Accrington Stanley 4, Bolton Wanderers 4, Fleetwood Town 2, Burton Albion 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2, Cambridge 2, Cheltenham 2, Gillingham 0, Rotherham United 2. That means, as well as Rotherham being promoted, it means that Gillingham have been relegated. So the Gills fans won't be happy with that at all. Of course not. But I have to say, I don't like Gillingham. Their supporters are a bit iffy, to say the least, let's say. Ipswich 4, Charlton 0. Lincoln City 2, Crewe Alexandra 1. Morecambe 0, Sunderland 1. Oxford United 1, Doncaster Rovers 1. Plymouth Argyle 0, Milton Keynes Dons 5. Jesus. Sheffield Wednesday 0. Sheffield Wednesday 4, Portsmouth 1. And Shrewsbury Town 0, Wigan Athletic 3. In League 2, it's Carlisle United 0, Stevenage 0. Colchester United 1, Walsall 2. Crawley Town 0, Leyton Orient 1. Forest Green Rovers 1, Harrogate Town 2. Northampton Town 1, Exeter City 0. Rochdale 2, Bristol Rovers 0. Scunthorpe United 0, Hartlepool 0. Sutton United 0, Bradford City 1. Swindon Town 1, Barrow 0. And Tranmere Rovers 1, Oldham Athletic 0. And see. I'm just trying to see if our friend Dan, see if he's Stockport County are playing today. I don't think they are. No, it doesn't look like they are. See whether they're playing. No. It's curious. No. Oh well. Maybe if he comes in the chat later, he'll tell us what's going on, because I couldn't see it. Anyway, the second half started in the Premier League games, and it's still Aston Villa 1, Norwich City 0. Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 0. Watford 1, Burnley 0. And Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Brighton and Hove Albion 1. So there you go, guys. That's what's going on with the Premier League. Taib says, I'm good, Jez. I hope you're keeping well. And Why Not Spursy says, Arteta is not a serious manager. He's more like a supervisor or a lollipop man. Lollipop man. I love it. He needs a big white coat to put on then. As far as I can, and like a black cap thing. All right. As far as I can tell, he is here for a feel-good factor. The warm and fuzzy, because that's all I hear from Arteta sexuals, how they feel. Yeah, it's not good, is it? It really isn't. Joanne says, I'm hoping to go back to Swimming World next week. Good for you, Joanne. I hope that goes well for you. Taib says, I slit the sheet. The sheet I slit, and on the slitted sheet I sit. Okay, right. Okay. Fair enough, Taib. I hope you enjoy sitting on that slitted sheet. Why Not Spursy? Mick Arteta says, you never hear them scummy Arteta sexuals talk on tactics too much. just how they feel about the club, not on what they can see. Well, they don't talk about much of anything at all, other than what his hair's like and the clothes that he wears, and absolute bollocks like that fucking clown Julian does. I'm sorry, but that bloke is an absolute wrong-un. He's a wrong-un. Anyway, enough of that clown, and let's get back into the game. The matches, I should say. See what's going on. No, that's not right one. That's not working. Right, here we go. This is what we're looking for. So there's been a substitution. Nelson Semedo can't continue, and Johnny replaces him. That's all of Wolves' subs used up. Wow. So if someone else goes down, they're going to be in trouble. I remember years ago, Jess probably remembers this if he's still in the chat, that Nottingham Forest played, I think it was in a cup match, and they were 3-0 up or something, and they used all their subs. So they had a big game at the weekend. So Brian Clough took off this player and had no one to bring on in replacement of him. He just said, right, come on, off. And they went down to 10 men. Fair play to Brian Clough, man. What an absolute genius he was. He was an absolute genius, that man. Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 0. Almost for Palace. Jordan Ayew hammers a ball across the 6-yard box, which Fraser Foster palms away. If it comes to Jean-Philippe Mateta sooner, it's a tap-in. But by the time the ball reaches the striker, the Saints' defence have reacted and the shot is blocked. And the woodwork has been struck. The woodwork has been struck, people. Bang, bang, bang. You hear that? That's the woodwork being struck. Aston Villa 1, Norwich 0. Chances mounting for Villa now. Danny Ings drifts away from his marker to meet the corner and flicks a header against the post. There it goes. It bangs against the post and bounces clear. Watford 1, Burnley 0. Watford have been the brightest side since the half-time. Emmanuel Dennis turning smartly in the box and dragging an effort wide. Roy Hodgson's side could do with another. And Glenn Murray, good old Glenn, he's been speaking again, and this time he says it might be entertaining, but it's so sloppy. Both teams are giving the ball away over and over again under no pressure. Glenn Murray is not happy. So there you go. He's not a happy man. So Julian's Insta posts are mad, crazy as well. Laugh out loud. Well, let me tell you, I direct messaged him the other day and I proper went in on him. I started telling him what I thought about his comments about Chelsea watering the pitch and about them using the loan system and all that nonsense that he was coming out with. And he didn't like it at all. So yeah, I got him really rattled, I think. And in the Wolves-Brighton game, Wolves are asking for trouble as they try to play their way out of defence. Brighton win the ball, but Enoch Mwepu's shot is saved. And Aston Villa are well on top in this one now, and Ollie Watkins is finding a lot of space between the Norwich defence, and he gets in an effort off, but finds the side netting. Okay, so what they're trying to say is that Ollie Watkins is finding a lot of space behind the Norwich defence, and he managed to get a shot in. And there's a substitution. Watford against Burnley, there's a substitution. And Burnley have made a change, and Ashley Barnes is on for Wout Weghorst. There you go. So let's see. I'm going to get at the table. Let's have a look at the table and see what's happening with the Premier League table. And let's see. So, as it stands, Brighton have moved up to 9th in the table. Newcastle are down to 11th. Leicester are down to 12th. Villa are moving up to 13th. Brentford are down to 14th. And Palace are down to 15th. And Southampton are up to 10th. If the results stay the way they are, then that's what will happen. So let's see. Let's see what happens, everyone. So let's see. Look at that. All those Watford players celebrating. And there's a yellow card. We've had a yellow card. I wonder who that's on. Your book, son. There's a yellow card there. I wonder who that has gone to. It's coming the Wolves and the Brighton game. Wolves win a free kick in a dangerous territory as Mark Cucurella brings down Raul Jimenez and gets booked. So there you go. Mark Cucurella is gone into the book. So he needs to be on his guard now. He needs to be very, very careful that he doesn't end up getting sent off here. And it's been a goal. There's a goal. So there you go. There's a goal. And it's come in the Southampton Crystal Palace game. And it's been scored by Eberechi Eze. And it's Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 1. So let's see how that goal was scored. Let's try and find out more about that. So, goal, Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 1. Eberechi Eze, Crystal Palace, and takes a left-footed shot from the left side of the box to the centre of the goal, and it was assisted by Nathaniel Klein with a cross. So there you go. It's Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 1 now. So Palace are now level. So in the games in the Premier League, earlier today, it finished Newcastle United 0, Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 1, Norwich 0, Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 1, Watford 1, Burnley 0, Wolves 0, Brighton 1. So there has been between 60 and 63 minutes played now, 65 minutes played, sorry, in these games. We're coming into the final quarter of the games, so let's see if someone can take decisive action to seal victories for their teams now. Let's see what happens. But I want to talk about the game tomorrow, West Ham and Arsenal. What do you guys think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to start? What do you think the team's going to be? What do you think the score's going to be? What's your thoughts about that game? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Personally, I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I think West Ham will be a bit leggy after their Europa League game, which will work to our advantage. And I think it's going to be a 1-1 or a 0-0 draw myself. But yeah, I don't know though, but I know it's not going to be an easy game. That's all I know. And James Dunlop says, I think West Ham will just edge it, and I think the top four race will go down to the final day between Arsenal and Spurs. I think you might be right, James, but I have a feeling that the other two, Manchester United and West Ham, are still not out of it. I think that the fact that United have appointed this Ten Hag fella may work in United's favour, just because before, when this other guy was there, that Ralph Rangnick, the players might have been sitting there thinking, well, what's it matter? He's going soon anyway. You know, what does it matter about what he thinks? The fact that this other guy's in the background and he's going to be watching, they're going to be thinking, we need to start performing, otherwise this guy's going to have us out. And so, I don't know. I'm not convinced that the other two aren't out of it. And if Arsenal lose tomorrow, we got a difficult game against Newcastle as well. And I could see us slipping below 5th as well. I really could. Because I just think there's teams there that they're going to be playing against who, for the rest of the season, that have got lots to play for. For example, James, your team, Everton, they could still be in a relegation battle on the last game of the season, and they may need to win that game to stay up. And I could see them doing it. I really could. If Lampard gets them fired up and they start fighting and show the spirit they did against Liverpool the other night, I think that they might pull it off. But I don't know, though. The other thing, though, is what Iwobi was saying the other day. I was not impressed at all. James says it all depends on that big North London derby still to play soon. Yeah, but the thing is, that North London derby, James, we haven't beaten Spurs at White Hart Lane since 2014. And Spurs are going to be really fired up for that game, not just because of the Champions League issue, but because of the way that game got cancelled in the first place. And I just think that they've got a better manager, and I think they've got a couple of strikers who could terrorise our back four, because I don't think defensively we're that good. I really don't. Joanne says West Ham 2, Arsenal 1. It wouldn't surprise me, Joanne. It really wouldn't. And Taib says, oh, here we go. But here we go. He's at it again. Comedy Central. Buffalo milk is a creamy dairy product, mostly produced from water buffaloes. India and Pakistan produce the most buffalo milk worldwide. Is that right, Taib? That's very interesting. Well, maybe you could persuade Mikel Arteta to be a water buffalo farmer then. Maybe that would be a good idea. Get out, Taib. Your comments just get more mad every single time I do a stream. They're just getting madder and madder and madder. James Dunlop says, I think we'll be already gone by the time we play you guys on the final day. Tomorrow we haven't got the quality at all to beat Chelsea. Maybe, but what? I think Chelsea have got a problem with finishing their dinner. I think they're not good at finishing their chances, and I think if you go into that game with the right attitude, you could upset them. I mean, I saw Chelsea play Leeds at Stamford Bridge about a month or so ago, I think it was, or maybe even before that. And I thought that Leeds gave Chelsea a hard game. I really did. Taif says, Arteta dairy farmer, laugh out loud. Yeah, mate, why not? I mean, he couldn't make a worse job of it than what he does managing Arsenal, could he? That's for sure. Taif says, James, I think Everton will sneak it 1-0. I could see it happening. I really could. Especially if they're well organised defensively. Any team that Arsenal come up against that are well organised defensively, they're going to struggle against. They are. I mean, look what happened in the game against Southampton. We just couldn't break them down. And it was the same against Palace and against Brighton. We struggled to break these teams down. James Dunlop says, I hope you're right, Ty, but I predicted 2-0 Chelsea. Sadly, mate, I think I remember saying that I thought that Chelsea would win. And there's been a goal, James. Roving reporter is saying that there's been another goal. Let's go and check that out. And it looks like Brighton have got another goal. Let's go. It's time. Tick tock, tick tock. It's time. And there has been another goal, and it's gone. It's come at Molineux. It's now Wolves 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. And let's go and find out about that. And goal. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. Leandro Trossard, Brighton and Hove Albion with a left-footed shot from the centre of the box to the bottom left corner following a fast break. So there you go. Brighton are now 2-0 up at Wolves. I'm shocked. I have to say, I had that down as a 0-0 draw all day long. I just couldn't see where the goals were going to come from, and now Brighton have got 2 of them. So there you go. Let's go and see what's going on in the chat. Del Boy Gunner says, James, I was watching the programme about Everton. It seems like it's the director's fault. Everton are rotten from the inside. I think you're right, mate, Del Boy. I really do. From what James was been saying for most of the season, he's been saying it for most of the season, to be honest. James Dunlop says it's the owner's fault, 100%, Del Boy. The whole club, from the first team to the women's team to the academy, are a complete shambles. There you go. The man in the know. And Del Boy Gunner says it's a disgrace. I feel sorry for you guys. I do too. I think it's absolutely disgusting. Everton Football Club are the 5th biggest club in this country in terms of trophy haul. They're absolutely massive club, and to see the club being mismanaged and run into the ground like that is shameful. The sooner they bring in that independent body to oversee football, the better, in my opinion. And James Dunlop says, not just Mashuri, but Bill Kenwright is to blame too. If he calls himself an Evertonian, he'd have walked. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Because it's not acceptable. You can't do that. And I just worry about Everton. They've got that new stadium that they're building, and then if they go into the Championship next season, what's going to happen about that? It's just going to be ridiculous. James Dunlop says, and as for Frank Lampard, if we are in the Championship next season, he stays in the job for me. Really? Would you keep him on? Would you not rather have someone in the job who's got a track record of getting sides out of the Championship back up into the Premier League? Because I don't know, man. I'm not sure that I rate him that much as a manager. I really don't. Certainly not for the situation you're in at the moment. He's certainly got no record. It's just, for me, I find it staggering that they appointed him, given he's got absolutely zero experience of successfully guiding sides through a relegation battle. I just find it staggering, to be honest. But there you go. That's just my opinion, though. I mean, what do I know? I'm just some nutter sitting in front of a laptop talking to you guys about it. Del Boy Gunner says, how is he still there? Yeah, that owner's a weirdo. He picked up a load of players that the managers at the time didn't want. That's just crazy. What the hell would possess you to ignore what your manager wanted? Why would you do that? This is crazy. Why would you appoint a manager and then completely disregard anything he told you? This just doesn't make any sense. It's madness. James says, I would, because I do not trust our board getting the next manager. Mashuri dug his own grave in appointing Rafa Benitez. I mean, I still think Rafa's a really good manager, and I would take him at Arsenal. I would. But given his links with Liverpool and the history he has at Liverpool, I don't think it was a good idea to appoint him at Everton. I don't. It'd be like Arsenal appointing a famous Tottenham manager, like, I don't know, Bill Nicholson or someone like that. It just wouldn't make any bloody sense. The fans wouldn't have it. James Dunlop, what we should have done back in 2019 instead of getting Ancelotti was to bring David Moyes back before he went to West Ham. Yeah, 100%. 100%. You need someone in there who understands, particularly in the moment, who understands the club, who's had a track record of delivering success at the club and knows how to get the club out of its current situation. It just doesn't make sense to me. Would you give more responsibility to Duncan Ferguson, though? That's what I want to know, James. Do you think he should be given a larger role at the club? Del Boy Gunner TV. On average, Everton's wage bill is £85,000 a week. That will happen. What will happen to the club if they go down? James Dunlop says, if Moyes was given full control of recruitment, if he came back, we would have been in a far better place. I think so too. I do, because I rate Moyes. I think he's a really, really good manager, and he's proved it time and time again. He has. Tayu says, if Everton get relegated, they'll find it difficult to get mid-table. If they came back up straight away, it would take them time, because there's sometimes when sides get promoted, they go through this thing where when they go up, they do come up. The first season they do really well, and then the second season they get relegated. They happen with Sheffield United, and last season? Yeah, Sheffield United last season got relegated. The year before that, they did really well in the Premier League, and the year before that, they got promoted. And it's a pattern that happens to a lot of sides when they first come up, so they need to be careful. But if the thing is, Everton are a massive club, and if they got a proper owner who had the best interests of the club at heart and got a proper manager, because I don't think it would be difficult for them to recruit a proper manager because of their history, and if they had a proper owner, then I think they'd be all right. Someone who knew what they were doing, for example. I think it would be fine, but it's going to be a problem. That new stadium that you've got, James, I think it's going to cause a problem. James says Duncan Ferguson is still the assistant manager for us. Not sure for him to take the job because he's had the interim job twice. Yeah, that's true, he has, but I just wonder if he should have a bit more responsibility. I know he's the assistant manager, and that's not likely to change, but the thing is, he knows the club, and I'm just wondering whether he should have more say in day-to-day affairs regarding the running of the club. Delboy Gunner TV says, I think they will find it hard to come straight back up. The Championship is a hard league. It is 100%. Taib says, Delboy, if we carry on like we are under this ball, we'll end up like what's happening with Derby County, says James Dunlop. I could see it happening, mate. I really could. Because I'm worried about what that new ground's going to do to you financially. I really am. Delboy Gunner TV says, hi, Tabe. Hope you're good, pal. And Delboy, I'm good, bro, says Tabe. Delboy comes in with his thumbs up. And James, Burnley are level 1-1. Right, let's go and check that out, people. Thank you, James. So, yeah, there you go. Look, there's been a goal at Vicarage Road. And it's Watford 1, Burnley 1. Let's go and find out about that goal. So there we go. So the goal. Watford 1, Burnley 1. Jack Cork, Burnley, header from very close range to the centre of the goal. And it was assisted by Charlie Taylor with a cross. So Burnley are level now, Watford. And then relegation 6-pointer there at Vicarage Road. So let's see what happens. See if one of those two sides can get a winner before the end. And it's, yeah, that's right. It's a huge goal for Burnley. Mike Jackson's side have been building pressure and eventually it tells. It's a lovely ball in from the left by Charlie Taylor that whips all the way across the goal and is met by the diving Jack Cork, who heads it in for his first Premier League goal of the season. And Mark Cucurella shoots wide from 20 yards. Where the hell's that gone? Shoots wide from 20 yards as Brighton look to add a third. And Wolves fans are streaming out of Molineux. And they're not going to be happy at Molineux, that's for sure. A good chance for Southampton as sub Stuart Armstrong. A good chance for Saints. Sub Stuart Armstrong as the ball is flicked into him, but he shoots over the bar. So, yeah, a good chance for Saints sub Stuart Armstrong as the ball is flicked onto him, but he shoots over the bar. And here he is, the man himself. Here he is, Mr. Glenn Murray. And he says, huge goal, and it has been coming. Jack Cork sneaks in to head at the back post. Burnley fans are going ballistic. They deserve that. They've been the better side since going behind. So there you go. Glenn Murray has spoken once more. He's come out with a few gems this afternoon, as he always does. So Stuart Armstrong is off target again, this time with the first time 25-yard effort from Oriol Romu's ball. And there's a substitution at Villa Park. Josh Sargent, having only come on 13 minutes ago, has a problem and he's having to be replaced. And he has to be replaced by Lucas Rupp. So there you go. And also at Villa Park, I wonder if the news has reached Villa Park. Norwich are down unless they can find... I wonder if the news has reached Villa Park. Norwich are down unless they can find a goal. Is that right? Let's have a look at the Premier League table. So if it stays like this, they've got 4 games left, which means potential 12 points. Now, if they get 12 points, it'll put them on 33 points. Yeah, if it stays like this, people, the first team is going to be relegated today out of the Premier League, and that will be Norwich City. They need to find a goal or they're down. Their relegation will be confirmed. So let's see what happens. Yeah, I didn't realise that. And Burnley have got another one. Oh my God, here we go. The drama is flying in here by the bucket load. And here go, it's now Watford 1, Burnley 2. And let's go and find out about that goal. There we go, people. Let's go and see. Yeah, so Watford 1, Burnley 2. Josh Brown. Burnley, right-footed shot from the centre of the box to the centre of the goal. Assisted by Matthew Vidra following a set-piece situation. And Burnley are in front now at Vicarage Road. Now, what does that do for the Premier League table? And what does it do for Norwich? Let's have a look. It doesn't change anything for Norwich. It's still the same. But Burnley now are level on points with Leeds. Leeds are hovering just above the relegation zone. They're 5 points in front of Everton. But Everton have a game in hand. If Everton win that game, they'll be 2 points behind. But what it does mean is that unless Norwich score, it would mean that they'll be on 22 and 12 plus 22 will put them on 34. Yeah, but even that's 22 plus another 4, 12 plus 22, that would be 34. I think Norwich are gone, even if, because the problem they've got as well is the goal difference. They need to win today, simple as, or they're effectively down. Not mathematically, but effectively, because they'd have to win. They'd have to then make up a goal difference of between 30 or 18 goal difference. So, yeah, they need to win. They need to win. It's simple as that. Simple as that. And there's another goal. Here we go. The goals flying in all over the place. So it's now Wolves 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 3, and let's go and find out about that one. So let's see who got the third one. So Wolves 0, Brighton 3. Yves Bissouma, Brighton and Hove Albion, right-footed shot from outside of the box to the bottom left corner. There you go. So Brighton are now 3-0 up at Wolves. And what was that I was saying at the beginning of the afternoon? That Brighton don't score enough goals. They got 3 today. Jesus. 2 substitutions happened now. Brighton's Tariq Lamptey comes on to replace Solly March, and Pascal Gross replaces Leandro Trossard. So there you go. That's the update from Molineux, where Wolves are trailing Brighton by 3-0, and with just a couple of minutes left now in all the games, it's Aston Villa 1, Norwich City 0. It's Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 2. It's Watford 1, Burnley 2. And it's Wolves 0, Brighton 3. So it looks like there's been another goal at Crystal Palace. Zaha scores in the 2nd minute of added on time for Crystal Palace. So yeah, Zaha scores for Palace to make it 2-1 for Palace at Southampton. Let's see how that goal was scored. And yeah, so Wilfried Zaha, Crystal Palace, right-footed shot from outside of the box to the bottom left corner, and it's been assisted by James MacArthur. So Palace 2-1 up now at Southampton. So there, wow. So look, some of the games are finishing. Watford is finished at Vicarage Road. It's finished Watford 1, Burnley 2. It's finished at Molineux, and Wolves have been put out of their misery. And Brighton ran out comfortable 3-0 winners against Wolves. And the other 2 games are being played. And it's Aston Villa 1, Wolves 0. And it's Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 2. And, maybe it hasn't finished at Molineux and Vicarage Road, because what the hell is this website playing at, man? And the goal's been taken away from Crystal Palace. What's wrong with these people? Honestly, this is an absolute shambles. And now on here, it says that they have finished. I just don't get it. I don't. So it's finished. Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 2. The final whistle goes. Wilfried Zaha's late winner gives Crystal Palace takes Crystal Palace above Southampton and into 12th in the Premier League. And now, there you go. It looks all but confirmed. Aston Villa 2, Norwich City 0. Aston Villa 2, Norwich City 0. 2 for Villa in added time. Norwich are going down. The hosts are in a dangerous area, and Jacob Ramsey's effort is saved, but drops for Danny Ings to fire in on the turn. It's been checked for offside, but it stands. So there you go. Aston Villa 2, Norwich City 0, and it's all over by the shouting. So there you have it. Looks like poor Norwich down. Commiserations to them. It's quite sad, really. One of my best mates is a Norwich fan. He's going to be gutted. So, blimey, there's a lot of comments here. Let's go through some of these comments. Del Boy says, that's not good, James. And James says, it's not a shock to me, Del Boy. 2 games in hand for Everton, but it just seems like Everton forget how to win. Forget how to win. Taib says, why did Everton appoint Lampard, for fuck's sake? They knew they were languishing in the relegation dogfight, useless board and owners. Yeah. Everton have forgotten how to play football, never mind how to win, laugh out loud. And Del Boy Gunner, laughing emojis. James Sonlop says, because it's a big name in football, Taib, like, we live in this Hollywood fantasy, but the team we have is not even good enough for a Sunday pub team. Sadly, James, I think you're right, mate. I do. James says 2-1 Burnley and Brighton are 3-0 up. Yeah. Championship, here we come, says James. James, mate, I can't tell you how sorry I am. It's like a bloody dagger to the heart, and I mean it seriously, mate, honestly. Joanne Smith says, let's be having you, Norwich. We need a 12th man. Yeah. It's done and dusted, mate. They're down. Taib says, time for Everton fans to protest. They won't take relegation one bit. I have to go, guys. Have a great day, everyone. Great stream as always, Warren. Thank you, Del Boy. Lovely to see you in the chat, mate. Thanks very much for coming in. Take care and have a great rest of your day, mate. And Taib says, bye, Del Boy. James Dunlop says, see you, Del Boy. Take care. James, Palace 2-1 up and Burnley win 2-1. There you go. Why not Spursy? Mikel Arteta 2-1 Palace Vieira. Ooh. And I remember Arteta took us to the relegation zone, laugh out loud. Yeah, exactly. We were sat there at the beginning of the season, weren't we, mate? And Tottenham were top. Why not Spursy says Villa villains. And James Dunlop 2-0 to Villa now. And the website is just like Everton. Haven't got a clue. Laugh out loud. Dear, oh dear. Why not says, no, Palace finished 2-1. The mighty Eagles. James Dunlop, full-time Norwich are relegated. Yeah, it's sad, man. It is sad. There you go. That's life. That's football, I guess. So let's go and check out what's going on. So all the games in the Premier League are finished. It's finished. Newcastle United 0, Liverpool 1. Aston Villa 2, Norwich City 0. Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 2. Watford 1, Burnley 2. Wolves 0, Brighton 3. 5:30. Manchester City travel to Ellen Road to take on Leeds United. They have the chance to move above Leeds, and they have the chance to move above Liverpool in the Premier League table, back up to the top of the league if they manage to overcome Leeds. So let's see what happens there later today. Let's go and see what happened in some of the other games today. So in the Scottish Premiership, the results are Aberdeen 1, Dundee 0. Dundee United 1, Motherwell 0. Heart of Midlothian 0, Ross County 0. Livingston 1, Hibernian 0. St Johnstone 0, St Mirren 1 in the Championship. Burnley 1, Preston North End 3. Blackburn Rovers 0, Bournemouth 3. Blackpool 0, Derby County 2. Bristol City 5, Hull City 0. Cardiff City 1, Birmingham City 1, Coventry City 1, Huddersfield Town 2, Middlesbrough 3, Stoke City 1, Millwall 3, Peterborough United 0, Nottingham Forest 5, Swansea City 1, and finally Reading 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. In League One, it finished AFC Wimbledon 3, Accrington Stanley 4, Bolton Wanderers 4, Fleetwood Town 2, Burton Albion 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2, Cambridge United 2, Cheltenham Town 2, Gillingham 0, Rotherham United 2, Ipswich Town 4, Charlton Athletic 0, Lincoln City 2, Crewe Alexandra 1, Morecambe 0, Sunderland 1, Oxford United 1, Doncaster Rovers 1, Plymouth Argyle 0, Milton Keynes Dons 5, Sheffield Wednesday 4, Portsmouth 1, Shrewsbury Town 0, Wigan Athletic 3. And then in League 2, it ended Carlisle United 2, Stevenage 1, Colchester United 2, Walsall 2, Crawley Town 0, Leyton Orient 2, Forest Green Rovers 1, Harrogate Town 3, Northampton Town 1, Exeter City 1, Rochdale 3, Bristol Rovers 4, Scunthorpe United 1, Hartlepool United 1, Sutton United 1, Bradford City 4, Swindon Town 2, Barrow 1, Tranmere Rovers 2, Oldham Athletic 0. So that's the scores in the Football League and the Premier League. So let's have a look at the Premier League table, and there you have it. Sadly for Norwich, that result confirms their relegation out of the Premier League and back to the Championship once again. And very sad day for the Canaries. So there you go. Liverpool moved back to the top of the Premier League after their win today away at Newcastle. It now goes to the Manchester City later today in about half an hour's time. They take on Leeds at Ellen Road. And we'll see what happens then. Because if City win, they will move back above Liverpool. And then we have a number of games tomorrow. Let's have a look at those. So tomorrow we have Everton against Chelsea at 2 o'clock, Tottenham against Leicester at 2 o'clock, and then finally West Ham United against Arsenal. So there you go, people. That's the end of that. And there's also tomorrow, there's a big game in Glasgow between Celtic and Rangers. If Celtic win that game, they're almost certainly going to be crowned champions. So, yeah, big day tomorrow for the mighty Celtic. So let's see what happens there. Anyway, guys, let's see what's going on in the chat. And then we will try and wrap it up. James Dunlop says, cheers, Ryan. I need to go. Great stream. Take care, mate. See you all soon, guys. Cheers. Yeah, take care, James. Thank you very much for coming in. I really, really do appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Give my regards to all your family. And, yeah, pass my best wishes on to your dad and tell him how sorry I am about Everton, because you, irrespective of whether you go down or not, you're still a great club and you're still one of the biggest clubs in this country. And no one should make any mistake about that. Why not Spurs? He says full-time minds 3 Bayern 1 kill the mighty Bayern. Yeah, not good result for Bayern, is it? Ty Hussein says, Warren, why don't you do a watch along? Mate, I get so stressed watching Arsenal. I don't. If you want me to do a watch along, I'll do a watch along. But I'm not sure I'm going to handle it. I'm really not. But yeah, if you want me to do it, I will. Why not Spursy? Laugh out loud, hear Warren call out the scores reminds me of being a kid and sitting with my granddad, God rest his soul, listening to the BBC News as he ticks off his Paul's coupon. Hartlepool 2, Crew Alexander 0. And that, my friend, is exactly why I do it. Because I remember that as well, sitting in front of the TV and then reading out the football results. Because the idea I had for this was because I wanted it to be similar to the thing they do on a Saturday afternoon on BT Sport and Sky Sports, when they follow all the games and what's going on with the matches and stuff like that. That was the basis of my idea. And then at the end, reading out all the scores like they used to back in the day on, like, in the final score and whatnot. Yeah, so you got it, mate, 100%. Why not Spursy, Mick Arteta and laughing emojis? Exactly, mate. And with that, I'm going to bring the stream to an end. Thank you all very, very much for tuning in and watching. And thank you to all of those that will be watching this on playback. I really, really do appreciate it. I'm just going to go through and big up everyone who was in the chat. So we've had Carl Walsh. Why not Spursy? Mikel Arteta, love Arsenal, hate Kroenke. Jess Collins, James Dunlop, Carl Walsh, Delboy Gunner, James Dunlop, James, Joanne Smith, Taib Hussain, let's see who else there's been. I think that's about it, but I just want to make sure that I haven't missed anyone. I don't think I have. Yeah, so that's it. That's it. And thanks to everyone. And if you're watching this on playback, please put a comment in telling me what you thought about today's games and what your thoughts are about Norwich being relegated, what you feel about the situation at Everton. Are they going to get themselves out of trouble, or do you think they're doomed? Yeah, and what you thought about Wolves' performance today, losing 3-0 at home to Brighton. Absolutely shocking. So, yeah, let's see. Anyway, one final comment here from Why Not Spursy, Mikel Arteta. Love Arsenal, hate Kroenke. He says, reading out the scores before match of the day. Good stream again, Warren. Thank you, mate. I hope you have a really great rest of your day. Thanks to everyone for watching. Please remember to keep talking, and also make sure you support each other and all your family and friends and loved ones. Make sure you spread some love and kindness around the world. And yeah, have a great rest of your day, whatever you're doing. And I'll be back really, really soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Please take care. All the best now. Thank you. Bye for now.